Okay, according to internet time, we're allowed to start, I think. So we'll call to order. The meeting of Kailua Village Design Commission will come to order. The time is 5:15 p.m. And I'm going to read the things from the beginning of our announcement. Based on the mayor's proclamation regarding COVID-19, these meetings will be online until further notice. This is to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and to maintain social distancing. The statements from the public, due to this, public participation will be limited to only written testimony via email at planning@hawaiicounty.gov or submitted at the Hilo or Kona planning departments no later than 4:30 p.m. on July 29th, 2020, or by mail. Well, I think that was from the old meeting. Basically 2 days before. And so welcome everyone. I think we're all here except Commissioner Ching. My name is Sean Roth. I'm the chairperson of the Kailua Village Design Commission. I will go down the list of the commissioners that are online here. We have Arn Werchek and John Hetherington and Jasmine Kursat and Kiela Ikiuchi, Riley Smith, and Zahn Sullenberger, and in the planning department office, I believe Ann Kern. Did I miss anybody? Okay. The commissioner's role is to provide architectural and design review of proposed projects, including landscaping and signage within the Kailua Village Special District. The commission is an advisory body. For sign permits, the commissioner's recommendations are forwarded to the Public Works Director for action. For architectural design review, the commissioner's recommendations are forwarded to the Planning Director for action. The procedures are for this meeting are that Robert's Rules of Order will be used to conduct the meeting. Each commissioner wishing to speak should be recognized by the chairperson before speaking. I'm on the grid view, so you can raise hand or unmute either way, or both, hopefully. Applicants and members of the public should be recognized by the chairperson when testifying or asking questions. Public testimony was taken according to the our COVID-19 guidelines ahead of time. Each application will be heard in the order listed on the agenda. Staff will introduce each project. Applicants will be asked to make a presentation or statement, which will be followed by questions from the commissioners. The commission, after discussion, will vote to make a recommendation for approval, denial, or deferral. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the meeting minutes from July 7th, 2020 were distributed, and the planning department has requested that we defer postpone the minutes from July 21st because they're not ready yet. So regarding the July 7th minutes, are there any corrections to these minutes? Okay, so hearing no corrections, the minutes are approved. Roz, are there any statements from the public?
No statements were received or forwarded to me. No, thank you.
Okay, so for the record, there are no statements from the public. Okay, the first item of new business on the agenda, the applicants, Alexander and Tanya Argarov are proposing to convert an existing two-story single-family dwelling into a two-unit duplex with 4 bedrooms each. The two-unit duplex convert the storage rooms and workshops on the first floor to the additional bedrooms. The building permits issued for the single-family dwelling included 2 storage rooms, 2 workshops, exterior stairs to the upper level, 4 bathrooms, dining room, kitchen, living room, and family room with a bar sink. The dwelling was also tied into the public sewer line in 2019. Landowner is Alexander and Tanya Arkarov, TMK 750002290. Is located at 75-198 Alakai Street, Kailua, Kona. Can I ask staff to please give us an introduction to the application?
Yes, Chair, this is Rosalind Newland. Let me just download this PowerPoint just a minute here. Do you see that on your screen, the big full screen?
I can see it.
Or do you see the two pages?
I'm seeing 2 pages.
Okay, just a minute. Now you see the full screen? Okay.
That's full screen, yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, this is an application to convert a single-family dwelling that's existing that got a building permit in, I think it was 2019, and convert the bottom floor into the extra bedrooms that were permitted workshops and storage room for personal use, and then convert the, I think what they would be doing, converting the bar sink upstairs into a full kitchen to create 2 4-bedroom units. Just a minute. There's the application. There's the existing 2-story dwelling. It shows the colors, which are a gray muslin colored on the exterior, main body of the building, and then a trim color is beige, and then wood beams. And then you can't tell too much in this elevation picture, rather, but it does have a pitched roof and overhanging eaves. There is the text map key showing the location of the parcel 9D, which is right here in the corner of Alakai Street and Lama o Keola, which is right here. And I looked at the area here, and most of these are developed as duplexes or a couple of single-family dwellings. Here's an aerial visit a few years ago. This was the site when it was vacant, and these are mostly duplexes, as you can see. And right across the street was a single-family dwelling. I'm not sure which one of these it is. I think it was this one. That's looking down the street. This is Alakai, and this is their parcel right here, I believe. And that's a dead-end street. Well, it was, yeah, so was it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
A cul-de-sac, something. Yeah. And you can see that this is their site plan showing the duplex with landscaping proposed around the boundary. Here's their 4 parking spaces, shown 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's their elevation shown with their existing colors and the 2-story building with the exterior stairs, 2 exterior stairs there, and all of the windows. Here's another site plan showing no septic needed. They had shown on the original plans, but then they had tied into the sewer already. I'm going to try and zoom in on this. This shows 1 kitchen unit, and then over here is the other kitchen unit, and each unit has 2 bedrooms upstairs. 2 bedrooms upstairs and then 2 bedrooms downstairs. So they're side by side. So here's the firewall. We use a pointer. It's okay. There's a similar picture showing the firewall. See if I can get this pointer. There's the firewall, and there's the kitchen was. Oh, this is downstairs. This must be downstairs. Yeah, 2 bedrooms 3 and 4, and bedrooms 3 and 4 down here. This is foundation plan. It's a roof plan showing the 2 exterior stairs. There's another roof plan. There's a section. See down here, you can't really tell too much, but it originally said storage, workshop. Those are the rooms that were converted, or will be converted when they come in for a building permit next. That's showing the firewall, I believe. Yeah, the demising wall. More to demising wall. It's another exterior elevation showing the exterior stairs. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I found when I looked at the master plan for Kailua Kona, it appeared to be consistent in that they're using natural colors, wood siding, and the building is articulated by windows and has a sloped roof, overhanging eaves. They did show landscaping around the boundary of the parcel, and they used some plans from the master plan. And the maximum number of units for this parcel would be 2 because it's our residential double family 3.75, which means 3,750 square feet per dwelling unit, and the size of the parcel is 8,073 square feet. And most of that subdivision is RD 3.75 with one street or 2 streets on the Mackay side of the subdivision zone, residential multifamily. And that subdivision was approved in 1962, so it's one of the older subdivisions. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions for staff?
Hi, this is Commissioner Iguchi. May I ask a question, please?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify that the applicant isn't requesting to increase the square footage of the home at all and is only requesting to change the interior layout of the existing square footage.
Right. On their site plan, there's nothing shown as increasing the size of the house. From what I see, it's all interior use of rooms that were already permitted. The only change would be completing a full second kitchen and then using the spaces on the first floor that were previously permitted as workshop and storage rooms for personal use. So no expansion.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other?
Sean, this is Riley. I have a couple questions.
Yeah, Riley, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Roz, on sheet A1, the first page of the set has sheet A1 used as the base plan for the landscaping design.
Yes.
And then 2 pages later, A1 is also used as the plot plan for the site.
Yes.
And the 2 drawings have changes made. They're not consistent. So if you look at the portion of the lot along Lama o Keola, on the 2 drawings, one of them has a continuous driveway that's almost the length of the property, and the landscape design shows planting along the left side of the drawing. So I'm a little confused what they're building because the drawings show different information.
They're showing back-in parking that I see off of Lama o Keola. And they're showing back-in parking up Alakai Street. Let me see on the other one.
Roz, if you look at A1, which is the landscape plan,
Yeah, I see. It looks like he's changed it a little bit. That would be cleared up during our plan approval check, which he submitted, that we can check on this one. The landscaping, he's shown a different kind of parking arrangement, but he's still showing 1, 2, 3, 4 parking spaces. Are the building footprint different?
no, the building footprint looks the same, but on the Alakai Street frontage, it shows on the landscape plan, it shows a different landscape layout. There's some kind of tree right by the dimension that shows 35.91. And I'm sorry, I guess that looks consistent. So the differences are on Lama Okeola Street.
The major difference is that it's on the landscape plan, it's a drive-through parking, and that's eliminated on the site plan.
Yeah, thanks, John. I'm mainly saying that the two drawings are inconsistent. And so if I'm unclear what
we may need to ask the applicant about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and that also can be cleared up during, the main requirement is that to provide 2 parking spaces per unit. So if that can be cleared up during tonight and during plan approval, it doesn't have to be, this is conceptual for the landscaping. It's not uncommon for a landscaping plan not to be consistent. It's not it shouldn't be approved, but it's not uncommon for a landscaping plan to have different information.
So is that something we would have the owner clarify?
Yes.
Yes, we would.
Yeah. Thank you for all the questions. Yeah, I'm sorry for the confusion. Yeah, the one. So the first page where the actual landscaping is.
Alex, hold on just a minute. Let us finish with all of our questions for Rob.
Oh, okay.
Let you do a presentation, okay?
My apologies.
Okay. Sorry. So commissioners, does anyone have any questions for Roz?
Sean, I had one more.
Okay, Riley, go ahead.
Okay, on the description of the item, towards the bottom of the description, it says that it's going from a single family dwelling to a 2-unit duplex. And it talks about how the building permits were issued for single family dwelling, but it identifies 4 bathrooms. And the plans we're looking at actually has 8 bathrooms. So I think that needs to be.
Well, this is a proposed building. If he puts in additional bathrooms, his new permit will have to describe 8 bathrooms.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the description in the item on the agenda is not accurate.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I have, Chairman Rob.
I just took this description from the building permit information.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Roz. So the description in the agenda was directly from the building permit.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Commissioners, any other questions for Roz? Okay. So I'm hearing other questions.
Oh, Commissioner, Chair Roth. The commissioners can make specific conditions as to parking or landscaping or to anything that needs to be clarified in the plan approval application. Should they make a decision when they make a decision for recommendation? For instance, this discrepancy between the landscaping plan and the site plan, this would need to be cleared up, and this can be made into a recommendation. And once you ask questions of the applicant tonight, we'll have this record as which is the correct configuration.
Okay. So does the applicant have anything that they would like to present?
So it's okay to.
Yeah. Yes. Like to make a presentation.
Yeah. So thank you guys for taking time to do this. Sorry about the inconsistency.
Alex, know your name is up there. Can you please introduce yourself just for the record?
Yes, my name is Alexander. Full name is the last name is Agarkov. So.
Okay, go ahead.
So and I apologize for the confusion. So the inconsistency between the first page where the landscape is and the third page is the third page was kind of planned when we had the septic tank in mind, and that's why it's a little bit different, because we were trying to make some room where the actual septic will be. And of course, that changed when we didn't realize how fast the sewer connection came available, so that everything slightly changed basically. So now we have more room to kind of play around with the parking lots and the landscape. So. So hopefully that kind of, explains, why there's differences. So the third page was the kind of original when we planned it before even anything started building. And obviously the first page is, as of now.
The third, excuse me, sorry. The third page being this page.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Alex, anything else you'd like to say about the project?
Well, yeah, there's two factors that came into when we originally thought building as a duplex, but financially that wasn't possible then. Plus, we knew there was a sewer project coming in at some point, but we were not sure when exactly that's going to happen because it's been delayed a couple times. So for us, in order to not have so many rooms at that time, that was beneficial because otherwise we would have to build the 2 septic tanks, which was kind of unplausible because of the size of the lot. And basically now everything that is done with the sewer and everything, that's when we're hoping to convert everything.
Okay. Okay. Is that all? Everything, Alex?
Yeah. Well, unless you guys have some question, I we try to be as simple as possible. So hopefully everything else is kind of makes sense. So.
Okay. Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Alex. So now we'll move into discussion, and
I do have a question for the applicant.
yeah. If there's any questions for the applicant, sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner Hetherington.
Okay, I'm on page A3, and between the first and second floor plans, I understand the firewall, but you have a number of separation walls, which appeared that it would be actually intended to turn this into a fourplex, not a duplex. What are those separation walls?
Well, no, that just means there is a wall in between the rooms. So I was just trying to explain that there is a room. The walls between the rooms. And sorry for the confusion. Because I think when we started planning all this, I think one of the county officials kind of told us to explain things where the actual walls are and not. So. Yeah, but the only firewall is actually in between 2 units.
This is Commissioner Sullenberger, if I may.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Zahn.
For the applicants, so this is just to clarify that, like, for instance, the bedroom 3, bedroom 4 used to be one big room, and that's just so that separation wall is just a new wall that's dividing that space. Is that fair?
No, actually, it's a so where the 3 and 4 bedrooms, that's actually one of them. Those are 2 separate rooms. So one of them is a storage and the other one is a workshop.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that wall's there then. It's just.
It is well, it's there because it was needed there to for structural support basically. So.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Sean, I have a couple other questions.
Okay, I'll let other commissioners go first. So, Lonnie, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the questions is, I'm looking at these drawings, and I don't see a licensed architect stamp on each. And if these are the construction plans, I think every sheet in the set is supposed to have a licensed architect stamp. So maybe that's a comment to Roz that that should be included. I only see a stamp on that first page that has the landscaping. Okay.
Commissioner, is that Commissioner Riley?
Yes.
Smith? I'm sorry, Commissioner Smith? For plan approval applications, we do not require an architect or engineer stamp. It's when they come in for building permit that's a requirement.
Okay, I thought these were the building permit set.
No, this is a Kailua Village Design Commission set of plans, and same applies to plan approval set. They do not require an architect or engineer stamp. Many people do provide that, but it's not required. You'll see
Okay.
that it's an empty block.
Okay, then the last question. So this is for the applicant. If you look on, say, the architecture sheet or the landscape design sheet A1, have you constructed some fences on the property?
That is correct. Yes. So there's a fence, pretty much not in front of the house, but the back and so side of the yeah the ocean side has a fence. The back of the house has a fence, and there's a small fence on the other side of the house, and we have basically a gate, for us to get in, basically.
Do the fences prevent people from accessing the parking spaces?
What do you mean? I'm not sure.
Well, if you have a parking space and you need to get into the parking space from the driveway, and then you put a fence between the driveway access and the parking space, are you able to get a vehicle into the parking space?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah,
So
they're big enough.
Okay. 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 All right. I'm good.
John, I have a question.
Okay, this is, go ahead.
Can we clarify, just for our record, the number of bathrooms issue when the question was raised earlier? How many bathrooms per unit?
Is this a question for me, or?
Yeah, yes, please. Just,
Okay. Yes.
there was
So
a question about
gotcha.
what the difference between what our agenda item is and what your plans should.
Yes. Okay. So we're looking at it as a duplex. So it's a two-story duplex. So there's 2 units. Each unit have 2 bathrooms on the top and 2 bathrooms on the bottom. So that makes it 8 bathrooms total.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner says, does anyone else have a question? Commissioner Hetherington, are you unmuting for a question?
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
I'm muting again.
I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Alex, the thing that's troubling me a little bit about this that I have questions about is it appears, the drawings that you've presented here appear as though this was built as a duplex from the beginning, right? And because of that fire separation wall. And I understand your story of not knowing about the sewer and all. But because these plans don't show the way that it was actually permitted originally, it's very confusing to us as to what's new and what was part of that original single family situation. And so I wish that was more clear. And then also following on Commissioner Smith's question about where the driveway is coming in. I did drive by the project, and it appears that the driveway is located more like the first page, where it's the entrance is actually very close to the intersection, and that I'm not sure if that's allowed. Planning will have to determine that, whether planning and engineering as far as your proximity to the intersection. But because this is sort of different in the various plans, And because your photo is from right after construction rather than now, I'm having a really hard time understanding how that parking works. And it seems that that's, an important thing for this neighborhood because there's no shoulders, the roadways are fairly narrow, and so this off-site parking is really critical. The other thing I'd like to have you, hear what your answer is that, like I said, it appears that this was originally permitted. I mean, it was originally designed as a duplex, even though it was permitted as a single-family residence. And when we look at these plans, the way that those downstairs areas are laid out, like one of the other commissioners said, it appears as though this is actually 6 units, not 2. And that's a concern as far as the parking goes. Would you like to say something to give us some reassurance regarding that?
Yes. So yeah, the only change, from the first drawing we got the permit for, and the second one, the only changes are, and you can confirm that we're adding a kitchen to the second unit on the second floor, and the only other changes are, instead of a workshop and storage room, we're planning to add basically restrooms, so they can be converted as additional bedrooms basically. So
yeah. And so your workshop and your storage room have sinks in them already?
No, nothing. It's a completely empty shell basically. So.
Okay, so
yeah, this is all proposed. This is all proposing.
You understand my confusion, because you're showing only drawings that have it, right? And you're saying basically you're just changing the name of the room, but you're actually adding a lot of plumbing. Okay. The scope of the change is unclear.
Okay. Maybe I got confused, but my understanding was we're showing what the change is gonna be, from what we have to that, and that's what we kind of showing you guys. That's what we're hoping to have versus what we have. So.
And can you address the concern of why this does look like 4 apartments on the lower floor?
Well, I see. I see now that I see what you're saying. But with the limited size of the lot we have, and what we want to get out of the building, being as a duplex, that's the only way we can have 4 bedrooms, duplex. We're just trying to maximize on actual whatever square footage we have. For obvious reasons, you can either rent or whatever.
So you're intending to rent the lower rooms?
No. This is all. Yeah, let me make this clear. So the lower rooms are part of the duplex. The top we have. So instead of what we have is 1,000 square feet, it's going to be 2,000 square feet duplex. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So instead of 2 bedrooms, it's going to be 4 bedrooms. Which is obviously dramatic change for where we're trying to achieve when we rent the duplex out. So.
And so, Alex, last question is, I know these are not necessarily your building permit drawings, but that was sort of implied. And when I look on the sheet A1, not the planting sheet, but the other one.
Yeah, okay.
And looking at the building code information on there, and it has wind speed at 85 miles an hour, wind exposure as B, and seismic design category as D2. And I'm fairly certain that Kailua Kona is, most all of it is 100 or 100 on the wind. Exposure category C, and seismic category E. And so it sort of appears as though this is a plan from East Hawaii that has been transplanted here.
I think the whole confusion about this page, I think it was never supposed to be included. I think the only reason I put it there, just to kind of see that originally it was supposed to have the septic, and now we don't have it. And I think by doing that, I confuse more people than I intend to. So I do apologize about that. So I think a lot of those are, it's been updated because the copy I have of what you were looking at, that was before it was, even permitted, basically. So yeah, my intention was just to kind of show you that was originally, septic. It was supposed to have a septic there, and now we don't because we already tied in into the sewer system. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Commissioners, are there any other questions?
I think my apologies. I think you also had some questions about the parking lot, and I do kind of want to reassure you because since there's no septic tank, all that area it's a huge size area, so we can do all kinds of things with the parking lot. It's whatever's planning require. We're just gonna because already what we have with the measurements, the required measurements, it's already plausible because it's big enough. But if we need to move a little bit or adjust or make it bigger, since we don't have the septic anymore, that shouldn't be a problem. So, and I think by the requirements, they want us to back in car, so we're not backing out onto the street. And that's the only reason that's back in parking. But it can be, in reality, it can go either way. But because of the requirement, it's going to be back in parking. So, but I can assure you, and I don't know if you see the measurements, it's more than enough, more than required, basically. So.
Okay.
And
thank you.
You're welcome.
Sean, I have another question.
Okay, Commissioner Smith, go ahead.
Okay, so this is for the applicant. I just wanted to make sure that I understood you clearly. So the building that's shown in the photo that's part of the plans we've been given seem to show a house that's almost completed, and it has some landscaping around the house. So you're representing that what's been constructed in the ground floor is not those 4 bedrooms, those 4 bathrooms. Is that an accurate statement that you've made?
That is correct. It's empty rooms right now, so there's nothing there. It's empty shells. So, but we're hoping to put in each room additional bathrooms.
So in order for you, if this is approved, in order for you to construct what's shown on the drawings, you're going to go into a structure that's already completed, and you're going to excavate out the concrete slab to put in plumbing for these 4 bathrooms on the downstairs level?
Well, yes, but it's all right there. It's already there because it was, we have a plumbing system already going up. So all we need to do is just tie it in.
Wait. So the ground floor is a slab, right? It's concrete slab?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so plumbing is under the slab.
That is correct.
So if you have not constructed the 4 bathrooms, you do not have the proper size plumbing downstairs.
Well, we don't have, well, we can't have any plumbings because, it was a storage room. But when we, we have all the measurements and kind of, because we do have site plans of where the actual plumbing is. So we can, as required, we can cut in and, does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to confirm that you're representing that the ground floor has not been constructed as you would like to build it. You said yes, right?
I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question.
You said that the ground floor has not been constructed to install the 4 bathrooms, including the showers.
Oh, that is correct. Yeah, no, it wasn't. Because, well, it's impossible, first of all, because otherwise it wouldn't be approved. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions for the applicant? Okay. Okay, so,
Sure. Ross,
yes.
this
Right.
Ross on you.
Ed
I
Ross,
just wanted to, I don't know if it really changes too much, but on these, when a building permit comes in for review by planners and land use plan checkers, when they see bar sinks on a counter, like these 1, 2, there's 3, 4 of them in each bedroom, 1 in each bedroom downstairs, they will be stamped as not approved as a second kitchen. They'll be given a single family dwelling notice to the owner, notifying them that these will to remain as each unit to remain as a single dwelling. So there's two, it's approved as two, it would be coming in as 2 duplex units, meaning only each duplex can have a single kitchen. So that's what each of these bar sinks will be stamped with. And if there were ever a complaint that came in, they will have been already notified and their plans will have been stamped as bar sink only, not approved for a second kitchen. That's in any type of permit where there's a bar sink other than a approved kitchen in a single family dwelling or dwelling unit.
thanks, Ross.
And in the case where there's exterior entrances.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ross.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll move on to discussion, and I'll begin with just saying that I'm not completely convinced with these plans that have been presented. I have, and primarily it comes down to concerns about the parking, and the consistency of sort of the story that we're getting from the applicant there. And I understand and I'm really very supportive of getting additional housing and trying to keep it low cost. And this is a great place to have more housing, but that housing should not be substandard. And it starts to be substandard when it doesn't follow all the rules. And so I would like to see a consistent presentation of the yard space that shows parking in sort of a in a really believable way. And I would also want to see, what is it really now? I know, Alex, you've said that they're empty spaces, but because of the way this was presented as that it was a duplex already when you went into single family, it's, it raises questions.
Well, if you want, I can walk through you downstairs. It is empty.
Our discussion now, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
So no, and I think it, it's a nice looking project. The finishes are tasteful. It's got nice lanais on it. There's a lot of good things about it. And I understand the story of the having the sewer be a question. And I think that's a legitimate reason to to have the plan change from single family to the duplex. To have to on the fly change it and be able to make some progress when you don't know what's going to be coming. And I would say, as far as bar sinks in bedrooms and other places around houses, it's not necessarily a red flag. I do a lot of high-end residences where there's bars all over the place, not only in bedrooms anywhere. And I think people should be allowed to do that. But at the same time, in this context, I think we need some assurance that this isn't going to become a 6-unit building, right? And the main reason for that is, is the parking and just general safety, right? So, commissioners, does anyone would like to add to discussion?
I would comment. So all of the things that Sean said, in addition, the fact that every room on the first floor has its own separate entrance and there's no way, or, to get from one bedroom to another without going outside. Again, it's not illegal. These are just red flags. And we've been through this before where we're going a little bit beyond KVDC and more into planning or building department matters. And even though, as other people have said, it's pretty obvious what could happen here, it's not illegal and the way it's done. And I would also be interested in knowing if, I mean, it would have made sense if I were the contractor that I would have roughed in the plumbing for the future stuff, and that's fine. It's not illegal. You can do that. But if it was already built, that would be another story. Other than that, I think the building looks nice also. I hope the landscaping gets installed as designed, and there we go.
Sean, this is Riley.
Yeah, Commissioner Smith, go ahead.
We're still in discussion, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think with all the questions you've raised, which I agree with, that I think we should defer. So I don't know if now is the time to make a motion, but I'd like to get clarity on the different questions that you've raised.
So before we make a motion, maybe in our discussion here, let's make sure that we're really clear about, if we're going to defer, what is it that we want to see when they come back? For me, what I'd like to see is the consistency of the presentation. I'd like to see that parking, drawn out in a way that, like in the case of the presentation we have now, it's like the old parking plan has dimensions on it. The new parking plan has sort of, rough areas, but it's not showing what's from here to there. I think the applicant, is likely correct that they can make this parking work. And so I think if we could be shown, a working four space parking layout that also includes the existing improvements such as the fences. For me, that would go a long ways to, to getting towards a approval point. Like I said, the look of it to me is fine. I don't have any problem there. Other commissioners, what would you like to see?
Sean, this is Arn. Sean, am I audible? This is Arn Warchick.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I think what we need is a new set of drawings that eliminate some of the contradictions that have been pointed out tonight, so that we don't have to sort through it and decide where the parking is and where it isn't, and whether there are entrances to the rooms or not, and whether something is a bar sink or a bathroom sink. I think a clearer set of drawings should make it very simple to decide if we can approve this, and I think most of us want to approve it if we can.
Okay, anyone else?
This is Ann.
So basically, we're looking for a a site plan that is. Oh,
Sean,
sorry.
excuse me.
Commissioner Curran, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Arn. I think it would be much easier to visualize this properly if we had a consistent set of plans. It would be easier for us to just slam dunk approve it. The plans should not be such that they have to be explained. They should tell the story because they're clear, and that's not happening right now.
Oh, thank you, Ann.
Sean, this is Commissioner Sullenberger.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate that. I mean, I think with the site plan that kind of delineates the sort of parking solution, whatever that ends up being, as well as the fencing and so forth. And then I think in the floor plans anyway, a comparative between the current existing and then the proposed, so that it's very clear what's being added. I think with that, I would happily approve this.
I think that even just some photos of the existing would be adequate. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a drafted plan in my mind.
I'd concur with that.
I agree.
Okay, commissioners, any other discussion? Is anyone? Okay. So would anyone care to make a motion?
So Sean, would be, do we move to table or move to defer? I'm not sure how we could frame.
Yeah, so as far as our options, right, we can approve, deny, or defer. And the thing is, if we defer, then that allows the applicant to basically come right back with some additional information. If we deny it, then it continues on the process as a denied application and would go on to planning and so on. And so it becomes a little more difficult for them to just make the correction.
Yeah, I would move to defer then as soon as possible to get a revised set of plans to respond to the questions that have been raised in the discussion.
Okay, so motion by Commissioner Wercheck. Do we have a second?
I'm Ann Kern. This is Ann Kern. I second.
Okay, second by Commissioner Kern. Do we have any discussion on the motion? See anyone?
Do we need to list the things in the motion that we want to include, or can that be taken from the minutes?
My intention is that it'll be easier to take them from either the minutes or consultation between the applicant and staff. Be reminded if there are any. He doesn't remember what we questions.
Since the applicant has been here, has been present at the meeting here, they've heard what the various commissioners' feelings are about the project.
He should know how to get the necessary votes.
Yeah, and I think, Alex, keep in mind here, what you've heard is that we want to approve this. Okay, I mean that's what I've heard from many of these commissioners, but we need to have it make sense, right? And have the story be something that we can understand and feel is reliable, right? And so really just a few points. So we have the motion on the table by Commissioner Wercheck, second by Commissioner Kern. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Okay. Should we take a vote?
Chair Roth, I had a hard time hearing the motion. Was the motion to submit plans that show both current and proposed conditions of the duplex from a single family plan to a duplex?
Can you restate the motion, please?
The motion was to defer and request that the applicant submit a revised set of plans to show what the project will actually consist of. I made it broad enough so that it will allow him to submit photographs, as Sean suggested, of existing. He doesn't have to do a new set of drawings showing existing. The applicant can decide what the best way to show, but he's got to present something to us where we see what it is he wants to build and we can understand what he's changing. So it's a motion to defer, to request a revised set of plans to answer the questions about the project that were raised at tonight's meeting.
Roz, is that,
I think I'm still having a hard time hearing, but I think what I heard was a motion to defer and have the applicant submit revised set of plans to show what the project will actually consist of and include photos so that commissioners understand what the applicant is proposing to build.
Well, I'm not, my motion didn't require that he submit photos if he has a better way to
Oh.
do it.
It may include photos.
Yeah.
No photos.
To the questions which were raised at the meeting tonight.
Okay. But so that the commissioners can understand what he is proposing to build
That's right.
for the duplex.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Chang is excused. Commissioner Crusat?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Hetherington?
Aye.
Commissioner Ikiuchi?
Aye.
Commissioner Kern, who seconded the motion?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Sullenberger?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Warchuk, maker of the motion?
Aye.
Thank you. We had 7 aye votes, makes it unanimous, or majority, because we had 1 excused. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, so the motion to defer is passed. So Alex, thank you for joining us today and being able to present your part of the project. We hope that you can answer these questions and we can keep it moving along for you.
All right, thank you, everybody. Now's not a good time to a quick question, no?
Yeah, now's better than later.
Okay. The only question I have, so you mentioned you want a better explanation of the parking lot. I'm not sure, but you also mentioned by taking a picture, but how you know, just looking at the pictures, that would help you? Or because on the front page, I do have measurements. I know they're in a smaller size, and I do apologize, but it's all, you know, it's all there. But, you know, if a picture just kind of overview helps, and I'm more than happy to do that. So
I think of a picture of what's existing would be helpful, but at the same time, you know, for your plan approval and your building permit, you are going to have to make a site plan with a dimensioned driveway, right? With the driveway areas dimensioned. You will need to do that. And so ideally, you'd show that to us.
okay, so basically, I got you.
The driveway is this wide from here to here. This is how it works. Right?
Okay, I got it. Okay, perfect.
And like you said, that there's a lot of area there, and that's where a drawing can, you know, can show this is how it works. Or, you know, but I think we're being flexible here in that, you know, because we don't necessarily require a site plan like the building permit would. You know, if you want to park 4 vehicles there and show us a video of how you get them in and out, I'd go for that.
Okay. Okay.
You know, basically, this is, you know, it's like convince us that this works.
I got you. Yeah,
Right.
I'm just trying to better understand how to make you guys come more convincing.
Yeah, I mean, a dimension plan would be one way, right?
So you know, my understanding for whatever, you know, the question you guys have, mostly it's about parking lot and you know, obviously what's going on the bottom, which so I can take pictures of that and existing what have we done so far, including perhaps a video of how I'm parking in and out. That would basically satisfy the.
As to the parking.
It could, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Great.
All right. I thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move on to our next items. We don't have any other projects to look at, so are there any administrative matters?
No, Chair, there aren't.
Okay. So no administrative matters. We'll go to announcements. Any announcements?
We do not have we did have an application submitted, but it is not have enough information to schedule it for the August 18th meeting.
So there will be no meeting on August 18th.
That's correct.
Okay. Any further announcements?
No. No
Okay.
announcements.
Okay, thank you. So if is there any other further business? Anyone have anything?
No, not really.
Okay, so since there's no further business, we'll say this meeting is adjourned at, it just turned 6:16. We missed the 1 hour mark by a minute. Adjourned at 6:16.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Aloha.
Bye. Thank you.